let's talk about something you do all day, every day, without even thinking about it: speaking. We're going to peel back the layers on this incredible hidden system, this invisible architecture that lets you turn a thought into a word.
I mean, really think about it for a second. It just feels automatic, like breathing. But what is actually going on in that split second between an idea popping into your head and the sound coming out of your mouth?
It's basically a kind of everyday magic. You take this totally abstract thing, an idea, you convert it into physical vibrations in the air, and then someone else's brain just catches those vibrations and perfectly reconstructs the exact same idea. I mean, how is that even possible? And that's the key right there. Every single time you speak, you are an architect. You're building something complex, something structured, something meaningful, and you're doing it all unconsciously, in the blink of an eye. So let's take a look at the tools you're using. So, where does any architect start? Well, with the raw materials, of course. Let's look at the most basic building block you've got, the literal bricks of your language house. These little bricks are called phonemes. Now, it's super easy to get these mixed up with letters. Sure, we have 26 letters in the alphabet, but the palette of actual sounds we use to speak is quite a bit bigger. Get this, in English, everything you've ever said or ever will say boils down to about 44 distinct sounds. That's it. That's the entire palette. Just think about that. Every word, from to anti-disestablishmentarianism, is just a different combination of those 44 tiny bricks. And here's where you see just how precise these bricks are. Take cat and bat. The only thing that's different is that first little puff of air, a k sound versus a b sound. One single phoneme changes, and boom, the entire meaning is completely different. And it's the same deal with vowels, which can be even more subtle. The tiny shift in sound between pin and pen, you barely even notice it, but your brain processes that distinction instantly. These aren't just any old bricks, they're high-precision components. Okay, so we have our sound bricks, but, a pile of bricks isn't a house, right? The next step is to assemble them into something that actually means something. And for that, we use morphemes. If phonemes are the individual bricks, you can think of morphemes as the finished parts, like a wall or a window or a door. This is the first level where we start attaching meaning to sound. It's a huge step. Just look at a word like rebuild. On the most basic level, it's just a string of 6 sounds. But your brain doesn't see that. It instantly, without you even asking, groups them into 2 chunks of meaning. Re, which you know means again, and build, which means to construct. Put them together, and you get to construct again. You do this complex analysis all the time, and you don't even notice. So now we've got our bricks, and we have our rooms, sounds and chunks of meaning. But a random jumble of rooms doesn't make a house. You need a plan. You need a blueprint that tells you how everything fits together. Well, in language, that blueprint is called syntax. It's this set of invisible rules, this grammar that's hardwired into your brain that tells you how to arrange words so they make sense. And the crazy part is, nobody ever really sat you down and taught you most of these rules. You just know them. For example, dog bites man makes perfect sense, right? Totally clear, maybe a little boring. We know exactly who did the biting and who got bitten because all the words are right where your internal blueprint says they should be. But watch this. The words, the building blocks, are the exact same. All we did was swap their order. And suddenly, the meaning isn't just different. It's shocking. It's a news headline. That is the power of syntax. No, seriously, think about that. How did you know? Nobody had to explain it to you. Your internal blueprint, your mastery of syntax, instantly recalculated the entire story based on word order alone. You are an absolute master of this system. So let's just zoom out for a second and appreciate this amazing structure that you command every single day just by talking. You start with the most basic sounds, the phonemes. Those are your bricks. You bundle those into morphemes, your meaningful rooms. Then you arrange all those rooms according to this deep intuitive understanding of the blueprint, your syntax. And who's overseeing this whole construction project? You are. You're the master architect. So the next time you're just chatting with a friend, remember this. What you're doing isn't simple. It's a breathtaking feat of high-speed, complex cognitive engineering, and you do it constantly without breaking a sweat. It's basically a superpower you never knew you had. And that makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you're an unconscious genius at something this complex, What other hidden systems are you using every day? What other incredible blueprints are you following without ever even realizing you're looking at them? Something to think about.